My name's Colin Levin. I'm CEO of Oceans Alive Conservation Trust. We are a global organization. We operate all around the country. We work mostly with wildlife, protecting wildlife, ocean wildlife, coastal environments. And as you can see, we've had another disaster. We've had the UPL chemical spill dam break the other night. That's chemicals again in the Mhlanga River. We've had all this mess on the beaches come down in the floods. This sort of takes me back many, many years to when I was involved with the Des Moines cyclone, which hit the country. Things were bad then. We had issues with roads and we had issues with washaways, but we didn't have such a big issue in terms of what's happening on this beach in terms of plastic waste. The sewage issues that we're having now, virtually none of our sewage plants are running properly. So we've got sewage running straight into the rivers. We've got plastic that gets thrown into the rivers, it piles up, and when there's a flood, it all gets taken down in a big plug and it gets washed straight out into the ocean. It's just a terrible, terrible situation. And we have to start working with companies that produce plastic, companies that use plastic, companies that sell their products in plastic. And we have to start getting them on board to support a plastic responsibility fund on the front end, where we can start using that money to not only clear the plastic, get rid of the plastic, but also divert it from the dump and turn it into a product where it's end of life recycling. And that is a possibility that needs to be discussed. If you look on the beach today, 90% of the visual impact is from bottles, 2-litre PET bottles. And it's just absolutely unacceptable. It's not up to organizations like us and Adopt a River to come down and clean up this mess on our own. This is everybody's issue. It's a public issue. And I think when these things happen, everybody needs to come and get involved, come and volunteer, come and pick up, even if it's for an hour or two. Companies, you can get involved. You know, this is not a job for somebody else. This is everybody's responsibility. And these things happen. And beyond the mess that comes down in a flood, we have an operational team through Adopt a River on uMgeni River every day. They work during the week sustainably. And it's also something else that's got to be supported. It's not something to suddenly arrive on a sensational situation when there's a flood. You've got to pitch here on a daily basis and make a sustainable difference. And we need support, we need funding to do that. And we'd like people to understand, please just volunteer, come down and help us. This is not a job for somebody else, it's a job for everybody. So essentially, to explain the way Oceans Alive works is we provide funding for other organizations who need funding and who are already doing a good job in an area, and we identify them and then we sponsor them to the extent where they can grow and do a better job and they can have more equipment and more operational skill. So we get behind these organizations in strategic partnership, as we have done with Adopt a River, and we basically work together in collaboration to make a difference. We appeal to the hotel groups in Durban area to get involved as well, support Adopt a River, support Oceans Alive, support everybody that's doing the beach cleans. And again, also we'd like to appeal to the municipality, parks, and everybody else to support us in terms of once we collect all this rubbish and we have the bags and we've done the job, it's the municipality's responsibility to assist us to remove that from the beach. We need everybody's help. This is everybody's problem. So we have a situation coming up with Adopt a River where we are going to be introducing the best part of 30, 40 workers that are going to be working on the beaches all the way from Sun Coast right through to the North Mhlanga beaches. We're going to be managing that on a weekly basis with teams on the ground permanently so that this can be averted before it gets so bad. So technically we make a very small difference. We make a much bigger difference when people are prepared to give up some of their time, come and volunteer and come and help us. You're always welcome. Sponsorships are always welcome. Funding is always welcome, and we're always very happy to show you exactly where we spend that money. As you can see today, bags cost money, transport costs money, getting people together costs money, running an operation costs money. So everybody's support is necessary, and if you can't come down to the beaches and help us, there's other ways of doing it. We have an academy, Oceans Alive Maritime Training Academy. And essentially what we do is we take students from disadvantaged backgrounds, unemployed young men, and what we do is we train them in various aspects. We do everything from water safety, swim instruction, life-saving, LSA-rated life-saving. We do first aid training, first responder training, and then we have commercial diving, which is the pinnacle of what we're doing. So commercial diving, not recreational diving, where you would view, the underwater world, but commercial diving, where you actually become a Department of Labor rated diver with a card where you can earn a living from your job. And that allows you to do anything from the cleaning of boats to underwater video photography to salvage to welding. So we train these chaps, young ladies as well. We take groups of men and ladies, and essentially we put a conservation spin on it so that they understand the ocean, the coastal environments. They can assist us in those situations. If we don't help the youth in terms of social upliftment, if we don't help people into employment and into jobs, they're not going to care about conservation if they're only worrying about how they're going to feed their families tonight. They need to have jobs, they need to have a future, and so part of Oceans Alive is to take people, uplift them, create a future for them, put a conservation spin on it so that it works for us, and essentially these young people become ambassadors for us into the communities that they live, and hopefully we can get more people to be more responsive in terms of responsible behavior, responsible plastic management, and also conservation. So we're very proud of these young men, and we have some of them with us today.
Good morning, this is Sid Fox, speaking from the Oceans Alive Conservation Trust. We've just recently returned back from Saldanha Bay to do our commercial diving courses. I just want to thank Oceans Alive for the opportunity that they've given me and for the dreams that they've made come true for me, as it's always been something I've wanted to do for a long time. I've learned a lot since I've been with Oceans Alive, and I look forward to engaging with them more often, whether it's the commercial side or conservational side of it. And I wouldn't have done it without the team that I'm with and the brotherhood that we've made through Oceans Alive. It's something that I can always appreciate and thank Colin for. And I'm going to make the most of what I have, do the best to my ability, and keep doing what I'm happy doing. Today we will be doing some beach cleanups all along the coastline here. As yesterday we experienced some, how can I say, bad weather, very, very bad rainy weather, and it's washed up a lot of debris onto our beach, and we're just trying to take control and be able to clean up our beach as quickly as possible.